So this right here is a BitAxe Gamma, and in today's video we're not doing much on the rig currently, but we are going to be looking at a new development that's coming through for BitAxe, and that is the BitAxe Gamma Turbo. So currently this one has one chip in there, and the Gamma Turbo, we're going to be going over kind of all the information we have around it so far and some extra bits. But the Gamma Turbo is going to have two chips, so it's going to be slightly bigger frame. It's going to have two chips with a 60mm fan, I believe, and these are running at around, I would say, 1.2 to 1.5 terahash, and we're going to be exploring today kind of what that looks like and the pipeline for BitAxe in the future. So it's basically going to be two of these stuck on one board. So let's get over to the computer and let's see all the information about the BitAxe Gamma Turbo. So as we can see here, we have a Gamma currently running. We're running at around 1.79 terahash. Now, if you kind of want the best overclocks, there was a video previously yesterday that kind of covered all the best overclocks or how to get them out. The efficiency is really good on this currently, and the degrees is kind of staying steady. The hash rate isn't as steady, but we did test it, and this is in theory our best overclocks that we have so far. And that is 750 on the frequency and 1.14 on, or 1.15 on the volts. Currently sitting at 58 degrees and 94 on the voltage regulator temperature. So as I said, in today's video, we're going to be covering the BitAxe Gamma Turbo. So in theory, two chips that you have like we have on the Gamma, so 1.72 terahash. Overall, that's going to give you around 3.4 terahash on just one board, which is very, very high with just two chips with maximum overclocks, but I'm sure people will start tinkering around and getting higher hash rate from these new developments. So we also have the Supra running there, and we have the Max running there, 500 gigahash, 770 gigahash, but the Gamma is pulling most of the work in terms of mining, currently mining to Digibyte. So let's get into kind of what the BitAxe Gamma Turbo is going to look like. So here you have it here from Solo Satoshi. You can go and follow him on X. The BitAxe project will be adding a new open source Bitcoin home miner in the series of revolutionary devices, and that is the Gamma GT, so Gamma Turbo. It will utilize two ASIC chips from Bitmain S21 Pro, so the same ones that you see in the Gamma, and will begin the journey for BitAxe 12 volt DC input implementation. So currently everything was done on 5 volt, but I believe just for power issues, you're going to have to draw more onto a 12 volt instead of a 5 volt, just for these two chips to work together. And it does say that there's different options for the connectors, so it might be a different power supply to supply this. And as I said at the start of the video, with a 60mm fan instead of the, I believe it's 40mm that we're working with now. So a little bit bigger on the fan as well, obviously to cool it a little bit more as well. Additional details on the BitAxe GT are very limited at the moment due to this information being newly released. There are no release dates scheduled or known at this time, since the project is still in development phase. So this video is mainly to make you aware that keep your eye out. It should be coming along in the pipeline very soon, and you'll probably see it pop up kind of on the GitHub first, I believe, and then it will move over to people actually producing these on all the BitAxe suppliers that we see here. So if you go into bitaxe.com and you go into source, I believe if you scroll down, you can find where to buy them. Click here, and these are the vendors for each of the regions. So you can go and get any type of BitAxe from a lot of these people there. So this was posted 25th of January, but we have some updates, and this is also coming from Solo Satoshi, where it's an interview with the inventor of the BitAxe. And he actually shows off, if you can see here, the BitAxe Gamma Turbo. And if we bring the frames forward just a little bit, you can see that that is it right there. So you have a BitAxe Gamma, which is here, and then you have the BitAxe Gamma Turbo, so slightly bigger in terms of the size. So it's going to hold two chips underneath that, and the fan is bigger, same with the heatsink. And it goes on through a lot of things in this video, so I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go and check it out. Mainly it's talking about this being more efficient, and we can actually pull more terahash from this. So where we have the gamma currently sitting at around 1.5, if we doubled that up, it'd be around 3 terahash, 3.4 at the max. But I'm thinking from what you're saying, you can get maybe 4 terahash from both of them. I know you can get 2 terahash from this if you're really putting on a lot of heat sinks and fans, the best coolers. You can get 2 terahash and above. So I believe that this Gamma Turbo will be getting maybe 4 or 5 terahash overall split between the two chips. Obviously a bigger heatsink. You can see how big the heatsink is compared to what you just have as the plain heatsink there. And obviously we'll try get one for the channel so you guys can actually check it out as well and do some upgrades to it. So there's a lot of information coming out about BitAxe as well. These are more things that are coming in the pipeline. They obviously said in this video that they don't really have anything in the pipeline in terms of dates, but there is some other things that they are working on over at OSMU and with Skot. And the first one is that they have had these Intel chips kind of donated. The whole premise of it is that they would be given away for free so they can make BitAxes with. So in theory, they can be given away to free to vendors to make BitAxes. So they maybe just split it up and send it to vendors once they develop something for this chip. Now, it is an older generation chip, but as we said in a lot of videos, we don't really care about efficiency. We only care about the hash rate. So if you can give us a chip that can hash, massive amounts of hash rate that is not as efficient, I don't think people will be too mad at that because efficiency doesn't really come into play at all with these solo mining machines. So I believe that this came out in 2023. It's a cryptocurrency mining increasing demands customized solutions to meet power, efficiency, and other requirements. And it's basically Intel going over the fact that they're trying to make SHA-256 chips. Now, they did actually cancel the project, and this kind of gets into a whole story. So Jack Dorsey actually acquired these chips, and he's given away, and basically said giving them away for free to people that want to develop on them, on the premise that they do be given away for free and not for profit. And subsequently, that has kind of trickled down to OSMU and some other people out there. But mainly, this would also bring kind of the decentralization away from Bitmain, because currently we're tearing down a lot of S21 Pros or other ASICs from Bitmain, and you want to kind of move away from that and get to a place where you don't rely on Bitmain or any kind of other manufacturers to give you chips. Because there's not really much point in decentralizing the network if it's still heavily centralized at one producer. So here are the chip specifications. As I said, it is an older generation, up to 580 gigahash. I'm sure that you can push this way higher. Maybe that's just for the most efficient range, because as we see with BitAxe, there's a lot of altercations you can do on one chip to make it go higher. Power consumption is around the range of a BitAxe, so 22 watts at the max. Efficiency is not great. I would compare it maybe to what we're seeing in the Max, and I believe that's an S17 or an S19. I don't know, correct me in the comments. So it's about the same chip that you're seeing on the BitAxe Max, 580 gigahash. But we know we can push this to even 750. It just kind of takes some overclocks to get up there. And the operating temperature, 50 to 85 degrees. 85 is very high when compared to BitAxe, because normally I wouldn't run it past around 65 degrees. So there are stuff in the pipeline for these chips, and they have kind of trickled down to the BitAxe community. Hopefully we see some progress on that in the future. They also mentioned in this interview that they're looking at kind of other chips that they could work with. And one thing that came to mind is obviously the next biggest producer of ASIC chips, I would say, is Microbit. And they make mainly close to Bitmain's efficiency. So I'm sure that over time we'll also see kind of alterations for chips for these Microbit chips as well. It just kind of depends where they want to take it, because the main point of BitAxe overall, I believe at least, is that we're trying to kind of take away and get it to a point, because the chips are the most expensive thing on the board basically. And it costs a lot to get those chips, tear them down, tear them out of S21s, and put them onto these boards. So if you can make that free or make it lower cost, because I think it's around $40 currently, but if you can make them for way cheaper, maybe at $5, we know Bitmain adds a premium, and kind of all mining manufacturers add a premium to the actual machine. Let's say that you got it to a point where you could make it for $5, or in the case of the Intel chips, they could be free. That would take the cost down, around $30 to $40 on each of these machines over time. And that's going to put it out there into the world. A lot more people can afford them, and that's going to get more of the hash rate on the network, and we'll start seeing more BitAxes hit blocks over time. So this was kind of an update video for all you people that have been watching the channel on the BitAxe content. This is kind of what's in the pipeline. There's a lot of options to explore. I know that you have, even with the Gamma Turbo, there was the BitAxe Super Hex, so that was 6 chips. I don't really know what hash rate that could have done, but I believe that this one will kind of be comparable to it because it has those 2 S21 Pro chips in there, and apparently you can get it way higher than what you can get on a single chip currently. So there's a lot of things coming in the pipeline. Stick around for kind of more news around it. I'm actually hoping to try get some of the OSMU developers onto the channel. So if anyone has any contacts with them, please let me know and direct me to them. I'd love for anyone to be interviewed on the channel that is a part of the BitAxe project. So if you can try connect me with them, that would be great. In tomorrow's video, I think we're going to be going over heat sinks and where to actually apply them. Not the heatsink that you see on the BitAxe, but external ones that you could put on the voltage regulator and actually around the back of the BitAxe. And I'll leave links to this and this post in the description below. Make sure you like the video and subscribe for more content like this.